Evidence proved Daystar Peterson, also known as Tory Lanez, was convicted based on a flawed and incomplete narrative. Through Megan Pete's own words, police reports, and expert analysis, the facts suggest Tory Lanez did not fire the weapon and tried to stop the conflict. The case deserves to be reconsidered as the evidence points to a different truth. Fact checklist. Meg told the police and doctors she stepped on glass, not shot. Video and officers confirmed Meg stepped on glass, not hit by gunfire. Sean Kelly testified 2 women fought in the street. One fired first. Tory was still in the car. Kelsey tested positive for gunshot residue. Her DNA was never tested against the gun. Kelsey received rent-free for a year after the shooting. Who paid and why? EJ said an object in the girl's luggage looked like a gun. Megan claimed that she spoke out in response to Tory, but the timeline proves she went public first. Tory's DNA was not found on the magazine, only 0.01% on the gun. Statistically, it's irrelevant. 90% of the DNA on the gun belongs to an unknown male, and it's not Tory. Tory's jail call apology was about the drama of sleeping with 2 friends, not a shooting. Tory has repeatedly said, "I would never do anything like this." No bullet fragment on the x-ray, no nerve damage, fractures, or joint trauma in Megan's medical records. Bullet fragments were lost, never presented at trial. Prosecutors misused Tory's rap lyrics, tattoos, and uncharged allegations to sway the jury. Kelsey's story changed multiple times. Then she admitted to lying under pressure. Megan's own timelines and injuries don't match the story of a shooting. In her own words, "I ain't get cut by no glass, but let me tell you why they're saying that."
I ain't get cut by no glass, but let me tell you why they saying that.
Okay, so why are they saying that? So let's step into the truth. Glass or gunshot. Here's the following videos. Showed Meg The Stallion injured at the scene. She was stating she was cut by glass and not shot.
Go to jail.
What's that?
Do you think we're gonna go to jail?
I don't know. We're trying to figure it all out. As long as you guys cooperate with us and you guys tell us what happened, we'll go accordingly, okay? But if you guys are not telling us, if you guys are, then I don't think...
I really cannot go to jail.
Okay.
I cannot have that on my image.
Okay. So how did that happen to you? Glass? Where?
Oh, Meg did say glass.
I cannot have that on my image.
Okay. So how did that happen to you? Glass? Where?
Where we were coming from. But I'm not from here, so I...
Okay.
That's the only place you got shot at? That's the only place you got shot?
I didn't get shot.
Oh, you did it?
No, man. I mean, no, sir.
It's clear. Body cam footage. She definitely said she did not get shot.
Any evidence of any shooting or anything? That's how we got dispatched.
Well, we have the gun here, and then we have other units. They're searching the house where it happened. So that's all we have so far.
So nothing happened in the vehicle.
No, we don't have any casings. No.
Okay, from what you've been told.
And then there's some cash over, looks like.
Was the person who got caught with the other people here that you have in handcuffs? Were they all together?
They were all together.
Yes, they were all in the same car.
Okay. And then, do we know how she got cut?
I believe when she stepped down, there's a glass.
She dropped a glass bottle, and then I think she stepped on it and cut herself, getting out of the vehicle.
Okay.
That's interesting. Now, I'll pause it here. So this is body cam recording when police just show up. If Meg was bleeding from the shooting, remember they drove off from the scene and they got pulled over later. There should be blood in the car. If the police are investigating, they got to be able to use common sense. If they're saying that she got cut when they pulled her over and they said, "Get out of the car." And when she opened the door, a bottle falls, it breaks. She's barefoot. She steps on the bottle. That's how she's bleeding. Now, if there shouldn't be blood in the car, right? There shouldn't be blood in the car if she got cut with a bottle when she was coming out of the car, right? Anyway. But the police are saying they believe that she stepped on a bottle coming out. So it looked like there was a broken bottle. I don't know if we see it. And it says right here.
It's right there on the floor.
Oh, this is the bottle. Here's the bottle. Here's the bottle that's broken, supposedly.
Yeah.
Rear passengers step out of the vehicle. Let me see your hands. Show us your hands. Come out with your hands up. Okay? Come out, people passenger, with your hands up. Hands up. Alright, move back to the sound of my voice. Keep your hands up. Move back to the sound of my voice. Move back. Keep going. Keep going. Hey, stop, stop. Move to the left. Keep moving.
It's right there on the floor.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be.
Keep going.
Sorry, what the fuck? So that would be the broken bottle. Then there's another body cam footage where it says she cut herself when she stepped out. Here
She cut herself when she stepped out. She cut herself when she stepped out.
Okay. Something else.
Move back to the sound of my voice.
Move back.
Back.
Oh,
Keep
she
going.
cut herself.
Keep going.
So she cut herself. Wow. Okay. Okay. Interesting. In her own words, the police bitch was so rude.
I get to the motherfucking hospital, the police bitch being so rude to me. Well, what's going on? Like, da-da-da-da, you're being detained, da-da-da. Ma'am, I'm being detained, I'm leaking. But I'm still not saying what happened. Shit crazy.
But what happened in the hospital? What did Megan say happened in the hospital? Said police calmly spoke with Megan, who says she stepped on glass and mentioned she already had cuts on her right foot from stepping on glass days before. Here we go.
And so what happened with you were just one ball stepping on glass. I have another cut on my right foot. I just stepped on glass the other day. So you were already hurt when you got into the room. And then at that point, your friends were already done from the hospital.
Now, I'm going to be very honest here, chat. And again, I always say we could look at black and white, but sometimes we got to use a little brain, right? So I've heard Meg say this too. Because Meg has admitted she lied to the cops, right? She hasn't admitted to every lie she's told. Like, for example, it took her a while for her to admit that she lied to Gayle King. But she did admit that she lied to the cops, right? Or she's now claiming she lied to the cops. Because her story then became, he shot me. When asked why, she said she did it to protect a black man, and she said Tory was fucking with her, and she was trying to let Tory off. I'm going to be honest, even if that's true, I do think we have serious issues when a woman or anybody else gives one statement that says, I did this to myself, does not point to anyone else harming her. She doesn't call the name of anyone harming her. And despite that evidence that exists of the person said, nah, I did this to myself, someone still goes to jail for 10 years. That is kind of, remember in court, you got to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. Anyway, okay. In her words, I try to keep it off the internet. Let's hear this.
So, since y'all hoes so worried about it, yes, this nigga Tory shot me. You shot me. And you got your publicists and your people going to these blogs lying and shit. Stop lying. Why lie? I don't understand. I tried to keep the situation off the internet.
Okay. Says she tried to keep it off the internet, however, she spoke first. Okay. Timeline contradicts Megan's claims. Nothing negative exists. That's why I didn't want to say nothing in the first place. This would have never came out if Tory would have never went to the internet telling everyone his side of the story. Says terrible because I didn't want to say anything in the first place. So not only did I say and not say anything, I didn't want to get ahead but want you to get ahead of it, want to make yourself look like you're the victim. Why you did not want to say anything in the first place? I guess okay, so they're asking. This is George Mezeshin, I remember his name. So objection, asked and answered. The court says, I think we've covered that. Sustained. It says, what was your plan when this first happened? As far as what you would say? I wasn't going to say anything. I didn't want it to go anywhere. I'm embarrassed. Then the question becomes, I know you told the police you stepped on broken glass. About 4 days later, you came forward to the police and said you got shot. She says, yes. And that was to a detective? She says, yes. In those 4 days, what brought about the change of heart? She says, I know it's small chat. I had a change of heart because I saw online that he tried to start getting ahead of the story and to put on a bunch of different narratives about what happened. Okay, interesting. Let's see if we can play this. So they're showing the timeline. Megan posts about her getting shot. 7:15. 7:16, she names Daystar to the police. 7:27, she goes live on his birthday, wearing all her chains. 8:20, she publicly names Daystar as a shooter. 9:24, he tweets for the first time. 10:20, he goes live responding to her. So let me try to explain this timeline how I remember it. Yeah. Again, I'm obviously giving my version of the events, so you might think I'm biased. Meg, I believe, it wasn't necessarily what she was blaming Tory for. You gotta remember, Tory's like a gangster rapper. Like, Tory wasn't really saying nothing. And I know she might think that Tory was having blogs do stuff. I mean, I talked to Tory's team. They didn't tell me nothing, like, during that time. They were just vague about anything that happened. I think what happened was that Meg had all these sponsors, and it was coming out now that Meg might have been in some shit that was criminal. And because Tory, like, if we accuse Tory of saying shooting at a rapper that don't like him, it's not gonna hurt him. Meg riding with Tory, because that's what we thought at first. Like, they ran into some rappers or some niggas try to rob him, or they had an argument with another group and there was shots. That's how we're thinking. We're not thinking that all the shots have to do with people in that car. That's how we're first thinking. But Meg's reputation start going down the drain because they're thinking that she's on some ride around, shoot 'em up, bang, bang shit. She wants to then change the narrative. I don't think Tory was trying to put that narrative. Why would he want to put it? Let's say Tory did do the shooting. Why would he want to put the narrative out that, oh yeah, we just riding around shooting people? No, if anything, he want to just be like, let's back up off of this. Meg's reputation, people start talking about Meg like, why is she riding around with niggas with guns? Like, her image started to being diminished, and she, and I believe Rock Nation, put out the statement to say, whoa, she's the victim here. Stop it. Don't be trying to make up shit in y'all mind like she's riding around shooting shit up. She not riding around with gangsters. She not involved in gangster shit. She's a victim. She actually got shot. That was the first time we heard different. They were like, wait, what? What? Then we start hearing, no, not only did she get shot, she got shot by Tory. That's what I remember happened. I could be wrong. But if you ask me, the reason why she first addresses this is not because Tory did anything. It's because we hear about this on the blogs and we're like, yo, who they beefing with? That's the first thing that come to mind. Damn, who they beefing with? Imagine Ariana Grande rolling around with NBA YoungBoy, and then some shooting. You hear about a shooting. You're like, damn, Ariana's in a shootout? What? You start thinking, oh, she on that gangster time. She like, he a gangster nigga. She like gangsters. They sliding on ops. She bought that life. You start tearing down that little fairy tale like Disney persona you have of her. You start like, oh, she a hood bitch. That's what you think. Oh, she a hood bitch. At some point, Ariana's going to come out and say, whoa, I don't do that. I got shot. That's exactly what happened. Okay? And okay. In her words, I never put my hands on nobody. Here we go.
I never put my hands on anybody. I never raised my voice too loud.
This interview was all lie, bro.
My hands on anybody. I never raised my voice too loud. Like, this was one of them times where it was like, it shouldn't have got this crazy.
It shouldn't have escalated to the way that it did.
So I get out the car and it's like everything happens so fast. Yes. And all I hear is this man screaming. He said, dance. And he started shooting. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, he shot a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It says Megan Kelsey had a physical altercation. It said the evidence says otherwise, that she didn't put her hands on no one. Megan Kelsey had a physical altercation. Eyewitnesses and physical evidence indicate a physical fight between Megan Pete and Kelsey Harris. Kelsey had open wounds and cuts on her. Oh, this was Kelsey's leg? You see this, chat? Wow. Now, Meg gave her the beats. So it says Megan Kelsey. Oh, so Kelsey had open wounds and cuts on her legs that were actively bleeding. No injuries were reported on Tory Lanez. The fight was between two women. Evidence of the fight. Not on the head. Y'all see the knot on the head? And the legs. Okay. Meg had a song called Shots Fired. Says, who a snitch? I ain't went to the police with no names. I thought a bitch I got a chain snatch caught a loss and had to say something. Hey. Huh? What? In her own words, there's a witness.
The people in the neighborhood, there's a witness. When the police came, because the neighbors called the police.
Okay, that was Sean Kelly. Sean Kelly's testimony. Oh, they got Sean Kelly on body cam. Eyewitness Sean Kelly told the police. Remember, the cops did not want to call Sean Kelly at first. I don't know why. Tory called Sean Kelly, Tory's team, in his defense team. But then the guy switched up his statement. Other than, this was what he should have said on the stand. Let's hear it. I never heard it before. This is new.
But no, it didn't. No?
They shot out of the car?
The windows were open, that's why it sounded like either way. Yeah, I didn't, no, they were on my side. The girl opened the door. It was two girls fighting, and then they shot. Okay. She got out of the car and crawled over.
Yo, we need a full body cam of that though. Tory's team, hey, we're not gonna do this little cut and paste shit. We've never seen this body cam. Y'all got it for discovery. Drop the entire footage. We want to hear what, because I think this is a very important. I think this is the reason Tory's in jail. Tory's in jail because his witness flipped on him. His witness was supposed to say the woman shot. After his witness went upstairs to go talk to the prosecutor right before his testimony, the witness came down and said he's seen the short guy firing the gun. He's never said that before. Question: what did you see, sir? They were fighting. They had started fighting. The two girls, yes. And when you said the two girls were fighting, could you describe to the jury what they observed, what they were doing, and what they were fighting about? Not about how they were fighting. It says, well, they were pulling their hair, hitting each other. It was quite violent. This is initially when you start, when you still see only two girls, correct? It says, yes. What happened at this point? Was the fight continuing? Was it stopped? It says they were fighting for a while because I told my son to come in the room and ask him to get in my bed, and then they were still at it. They were fighting. They were all bent over some sort of warp. Okay. Sean Kelly testified that there were two women fighting and one of them fired the first few shots while Tory was still in the car. Okay, did you state, sir, that the shorter gentleman didn't come out of the car until the initial shot? It says, yeah. It says, excuse me? Yeah. So when the initial shot or fireworks started, isn't it true you said that my client was still in the car? Yes, I believe so. The shorter gentleman was in the car. Yes. Okay. And then you stated initially that the fighting with two girls. Did you say after you saw the two girls fighting, you saw one of the girls shoot? So I believe so. Thereafter, did you say that the shorter guy got involved at any point? Okay. In a separate interview, okay, this is good.
The doors of the...
In a separate interview, Sean Kelly saw Kelsey and Megan fighting, with Kelsey, the rear passenger, attacking Meg in the front. The driver, Jaquan, tried to intervene. He stated that the woman fired the gun while Tory Lanez, described as the shorter black guy, was still in the backseat of the vehicle. There's no way Tory fired 5 shots. Yeah, by the way, there's another theory I have, which is... It's the same theory. Kelsey's quiet because she knows she fired the first couple shots and Tory grabbed her hand, and the last 2 shots was Tory's hand and her hand on the gun, and it went wherever. Let's listen.
Escalade open and the girl come out and pull open the passenger door and started screaming and yelling at somebody in the car.
So the girl who came out of the passenger, you're talking about the front passenger?
No, the rear.
The rear passenger. So the girl comes out of the rear passenger and she goes to the front passenger?
Yes.
And she opens up the car door?
Yes.
And then what happens?
They're screaming and shouting at each other and they start fighting.
The 2 girls?
Yeah, I can see one like feet coming out trying to kick her and the other one's fighting, and then the passenger gets out.
So the girl who does the punching and the kicking is the girl that comes out of the back passenger?
The front, can we stop there? Because I don't want to... I'll tell you, and then I want to go. My son's on his own.
Yeah, I understand. And it's loud with the cars.
I don't really want to. So basically, the car stopped. The girl in the back got out, started screaming and shouting, ripped the door, pulled the door open, but pulled it so sort of viciously. That's why I presume the driver got out. She starts screaming. She starts hitting the girl. The girl on the passenger side, her feet come out. She starts to kick the girl away. On the passenger. They get out, they start fighting here, they start fighting. The driver comes around and tries to sort of break it up. It gets a bit more violent, and between them, the girl then climbs back into the front driver passenger seat.
Where's the shorter black guy?
He's in the back.
He's in the back of the car? Okay.
Then the gun.
By the way, again, I'm going to say to Tory's team, we can't, again, I know this is a pretty much part of this innocence project for Tory, but for further credibility, I know you guys are using pieces that match the narrative and the sequence of conversation, but these videos have never been seen before. Y'all should have them separately. That if someone wants to watch this interview, not 2 minutes, not 30 seconds, not 50 seconds, they could watch all 20 minutes of what Sean Kelly says, because what's going to happen is y'all are going to get accused of splicing shit up. Of, oh, yeah, they played the audio, but they cut it off at this part where he said, and then I saw Tory do it. So again, I'm cool with this, but y'all should have the full audio somewhere that people could refer to, that they know that y'all not being facetious. I'm not accusing y'all being facetious or, trying to do some funny shit, but you have to anticipate what detractors or even Alex Spiro is going to come back with.
Then the girl shoots into the the driver's door's open.
You're seeing the girl shoot?
Can I help you? I think, is it this house?
Yes, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
So you see the girl doing the shooting?
I see what appears to be the girl standing here and shooting into the car. That's what it looked like to me. But it was dark and I'm above, but then the guy gets out again from the back.
Okay. All right. Okay. This is how it describes. He did say the girl shot. It says, together, the statements of Smith, James, and Kelly paint a consistent picture. Women were fighting, gun fired. Tory tried to de-escalate. Okay. So, okay, we have 3 affidavits. EJ's testimony suggests there was a gun in the girl bag. That's the stylist. Harris' testimony, that's Kelsey, was inconsistent and unreliable, right? First, she says, I can't tell you the time, but yeah, July 12th. And did you see what happened? I mean, no. The way I was positioned, honestly, no. Then it was like, again, when I spoke with you a few different times, did you shoot Tory or did you shoot Megan? Says no. So who shot Megan? Again, when I was getting out, all I heard was shots. This is whatever. Kelsey confirmed she was not bribed. There's also been a lot of talk about bribery, and I want to, before I get into the facts, I want to talk about that. My client, has he paid you anything? Has Tory paid you anything? No. There's talk about hush money that Megan people have put out there. Has my client paid anything to you? No, and I would actually like to make that very clear because I've seen some things earlier from her attorney. I'm tired of that lie. No. Ms. Harris says, I never asked him to. This was on direct. Says, got you. Harris says, bye, give me a spot. They did this voluntarily for a year, which was not normal. After the incident, Kelsey received rent for an entire year after not speaking with Megan after the incident. It was covered by Meg's team. The term they has been used repeatedly. Why? Who's they? Who I think Meg team is? In her own words, he's standing over the window shooting.
In the car, shooting from the car, Megan?
He is standing up over the window, shooting.
So, but Tory never touched a gun. Okay, there's a lot of stuff here. So why would I lie?
Why would I lie? You want me to be a bad person so bad, and y'all motherfuckers want to believe the lie before you believe the truth.
Okay. Text message evidence appears edited. Alex with private gym. There's a text about an address that's not in this message here that was shown by Alex Spiro. Or, well, I guess they blacked out. It was an address. That's not edited. Is this the same? This is the same. This is the same. This is the same. This is the same. Yep. This is the same. Smiley. This is the same. This is the same. The text and evidence says, help, Tory shot Meg, 911. This other one says, oh, and handled me. Okay, so that would be new. That's kind of interesting. Wow, interesting. In her own words, dance bitch. Did he really say that?
And all I hear is this man screaming. He said, dance.
Did he really say that? This is, we get a clear video of the Ring camera. So you can hear the conversation, correct? So yes, quite clearly, but at any point did you hear anyone say dance? Now again, a gunshot is way louder than even a screaming woman. It says, when you got out of the car, did anybody say dance bitch, or did you hear anything about a word? So no, I didn't know where that came from. That's Sean Kelly and Kelsey. Kelsey says she never heard dance bitch either. Sean Kelly, who was inside, he says he could hear, some screaming, but he didn't hear that neither. In her own words, I thought the doctor were the police.
I get to the hospital. The doctors do X-rays on my feet. Oh, ma'am, you got bullets in your feet. You got bullet fragments in your other foot. I'm thinking the doctors is the police, so I'm still trying not to tell them like, nah, I didn't know I got. You know what I'm saying? I'm scared. Like I've never been shot before.
So which doctor, Megan? Here's the medical facts that don't fit the narrative. Dr. Anthony Lafredo described the injury as a laceration from broken glass. There's no mention of gunshot wounds and fragments, and this was the ER on 7/12/20. There was an orthopedic doctor that saw her afterwards that diagnosed as bilateral gunshot wound. Based on imaging, he provided 3 small fragments under general anesthesia and called the wound superficial, yet he did perform surgery even though the wounds were supposedly superficial. Claimed the fragments were bagged and they were given to police. Dr. Anna Howell, a day later, a plastic surgeon, described the wounds as superficial and cleanly closed. The x-rays showed no fractures, minimal residual shrapnel. Dr. Howell treated for cellulitis, an infection, and was discharged without mention of ballistic trauma. So the first doctor, the ER doctor, said nothing was wrong. She stayed there. Another doctor saw her, and he was orthopedic. He says he found gunshots on some scans, and then gunshot fragments on some scans, and then this other person did not have to do too much. Basically said that there was no trauma from gunshots. Key medical filings. Okay, the fragments went missing. Preliminary hearings, detectives stated that the bullets were missing. Bullet fragments were missing. Prosecutors later claimed LAPD had them. An inconsistency suggesting evidence mismanagement or miscommunication. Prosecutors claimed LAPD still has the bullet fragments allegedly removed from Megan's foot. Yet, during a preliminary hearing, Detective Ryan Stogner stated the fragments were missing. If LAPD had the fragments, why did the lead investigator testify in this matter? The chain of custody comes from the question with such a clear error. This casts doubt on the integrity and completeness of the evidence. Says this is again court transcript. Now the bullet fragments, which were allegedly removed from Meg's ankles, they can be located, correct? It says correct. So why did the lead investigator say that? Meg's faulty claims and medical records. On August 17, she went to the club with an ace bandage on her left foot, despite claiming to have been shot in both feet. There was also no signs of nerve damage per the doctor's testimony, even though Meg insisted she suffered nerve damage. So was there a lot of pain afterwards? She said, yes, I couldn't walk for a while, and I couldn't feel the left side of my foot. Did you have nerve damage? She says, yes, and I still have some nerve damage. Question, what did you mean by that? Answer is, I can't really feel the left side of my foot. Question, and based on your experience, is that, did you see anything that there was nerve damage, blah, blah, blah? And so we didn't identify nerve damage. However, somebody could feel something different than what the doctor is saying is there, okay? Because Meg might not know what nerve damage feels like. Okay, here we go. Contrary to popular belief, Tory showed clear concern and care for Meg. Here we go.
Address that the incident occurred, the shooting happened?
Nah, I don't know the address, bro. I was just trying to help my girlfriend. 1 second, bro.
Stay right here for me, bro.
Mego.
Hey, we got an ambulance coming for her, okay? Hey, bro, step up right here. We got an ambulance coming for her, all right?
Hey, so just a quick question.
It's gonna be good.
Do you have any injuries on you?
No, I don't.
Do you need an R?
Sure. I got to come for your friend now, okay?
Okay.
Do you want to talk about what happened tonight?
Just trying to work on her safety, basically.
Your girl to safety?
Yeah, I think we need to get the full body cam of the interrogation of Tory and of Kelsey. Okay. So there's some prosecutorial misconduct concerns. So prosecutors intended to use Tory Lanez rap lyrics, tattoos, and uncharged prior incidents to prejudice the jury. Now it says intended. I think they ruled that out in pretrial. I don't think they could have mentioned his lyrics because he has a song called Shooters. Having shooters in the Uber. He has a tattoo of an AK-47 right here. I think they couldn't use images of him shirtless at all. They said mentioning Tory Lanez's right to not testify potentially violated his constitutional protections. I don't know if they did that in court, but if they did, that would. Tory Lanez's choice to not testify is a protected constitutional right, and the fact that a defendant does not testify on his own behalf should not be fodder for the courts, nor an interpretation of guilt. I didn't. Was that really mentioned? Interesting if it was. It says justice requires clarity, fairness, and facts, not assumptions. Okay. Now, I seen some people ask. They said, why are we just seeing this evidence now? Now, all this evidence existed before Tory went to trial. Just to be very clear, there's nothing new here except the affidavits, honestly. Like, again, when all of these things would have been provided in discovery, which would include the body cam footage, interrogation footage, hospital body cam, medical reports, the Sean Kelly interview. These are new though. There's sworn affidavits from Jaquan. For whatever reason, Jaquan, and by the way, I wonder, Jaquan must have gotten interviewed. I want to see what he said. How does the driver not get interviewed by the police? It's clear Tory got interviewed by the police. Why don't we have Jaquan? What did he say then? I don't know. By the way, I think they didn't use some of what Jaquan said in court because Jaquan was missing. But we also have this new person.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. A lot of people agree with the same thing. Meg The Stallion. Like, I seen a meme. Like, she fell off the bike. They put her face on there and they said, Tory Lanez, it's your fault. Why don't you leave me alone? Like, hey, Tory Lanez just got stabbed up. Tory Lanez is on like 10 HP right now. He needs a chug jug, gang. He needs a health kit. Like, Tory Lanez is down bad right now, gang. You keep talking about Tory's not doing anything. Like, they said he got collapsed lungs and all this extra stuff. He's fighting for his life right now. Feel me? A lot of people love Tory Lanez. People don't really like you. This whole Rock Nation fiasco, you're a part of it. And you don't understand. Like, the dope cheese, the scissors, the Meg The Stallions, like, not really liked by a lot of people, gang. I'm not gonna lie. But hey, man. Free Tory. If he didn't do it. The evidence is all over the place. We don't know who did it. It's your boy Big Egg News. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.